Coming up on Tuesday night, Howard Eastman against Robert McCracken. Championship Boxing, live only on Sky Sports.
Kaczynski drops in. Can Fogarty slipstream him on the line? Yes! Yes! It's going to be Fogarty over the line. Fogarty wins.
Celebrating 10 years, this is Sky Sports.
In the words of the song, we're going to Miami. Yes, coming up in the next 2 hours, the first ever Indy Racing League event to be held on one of America's newest speedways. It's Homestead. Action and drama are guaranteed at over 200 miles an hour. Welcome once again to live American motor racing here on Sky Sports. This week we visit the Homestead Speedway for the second round of the Indy Racing League. It's been 3 weeks since the opening round of the world's top single-seater oval championship. Ralph Sanchez, the man behind the Homestead track, decided for 2001 to swap from the Champ Car Series to Indy Racing League, and interestingly has been rewarded with much improved pre-event ticket sales. I'm joined by two close followers of American racing, our regular IRL expert Christopher Tate and seasoned journalist Russell Bolgin. Thanks for joining us, gents. Now, the IRL cars are going pretty good here at Miami. Will this track suit them in the race, Christopher?
Yes, it will. It really will. It's going to be a great track for IRL. This track's quite substantially changed to how it was first built. It was built wrong the first time around with 4 corners. We've now really got 2 continuous corners at each end, and it's a terrific facility, and the grandstands, the facilities, everything. It's a great racetrack to go and watch motor racing, and I think we're going to have a really good IRL race here.
And you even know how many palm trees they've got planted
We've
there,
got over 600 palm trees there. I saw it all being built. It's just, no, it is. It's a great facility. It really is.
Russell, looking forward to this event at Miami?
I think it's going to be very interesting because it's a comparatively flat track, not much banking on the straight or on the corners. Technically very difficult to set your car up for, and they're talking about being able to pass on the outside if conditions are good enough. The only negative factor is the wind blowing in off the sea can sometimes affect your car setup, so lots of links to look forward to.
And they're travelling at some fair old rate of knots at Miami as well, aren't they, at Homestead? I mean, it's over 200 mile an hour the qualifiers have gone through.
The best qualifier is over 201 miles an hour, and there's some talk that if the weather's right, they'll be doing 197 or 198 mile an hour laps in the race, in traffic, which is pretty spectacular.
Indeed, spectacular is the word then. Lots of news from the league in recent days as well, including the fact that Michael Andretti will join the Panther Pennzoil team alongside Sam Hornish for the Indianapolis 500, a race you can, of course, see live here on Sky Sports. And news too of Champ Car and IRL possibly standardising their engine regulations in the future. Also, Toyota have announced this week that they'll be definitely producing an IRL engine for 2003. Quite a lot to come, that's for certain, in IRL this year. 13 rounds, not the 9 like we had last year. This championship really is happening at the moment, isn't it? Everything is building in IRL. What interests me is that Champ Car look like they're falling into line with IRL.
Well, it's very interesting. I mean, as you know, Keith, the politics of Champ Car in the last few months have been a little complex, changes of people within the top of the company. And they were meant to be getting out a new engine regulation by now. They haven't. They must do so. They're behind IRL.
Well, we can see Jack Arute there. Let's cross to the track now. They're live and they're on the track on the warm-up lap.
Gust. That's the area where it will wreak the most havoc. Vince Welch, that's why we've given that area the moniker Calamity Corner.
Well, one driver who's not afraid to go hard into turn 3 is Jeff Ward. In fact, Ward says the race car is great going through 3 and 4. He believes he can have a distinct advantage in the race today by having a strong race car in 3 and 4. And he says, in fact, if he has to, he can pass going into turn 3.
Set to go with the second race of the 2001 Indy Racing League Series as we head for the Indianapolis Motor Speedway in the 500 in about a month and a half. We'll also race at Atlanta between now and then, but this should be quite a contest here today at Homestead Miami Speedway. The pace car pulls off. Jeff Ward leads him down for the start of this race, and the green flag is out. Here we go. Jeff Ward has stepped out to a nice lead here as they come out of turn number 2 and down the backstretch. That's Greg Ray second. There's the rookie Felipe Giafoni running third, and we're on board with Sam Hornish Jr., the winner at Phoenix, as he tries to get to the inside of Giafoni going into turn number 3 for that position.
You know, Jeff Ward was about a mile and a half an hour faster than anyone else yesterday, and it looks like he hasn't lost any of that speed, Claire.
Oh, and a car slides into the inside retaining wall here on the main straightaway, bringing out our first caution of the afternoon. And it looks like it's going to be Stan Wattles who has hit the inside wall and damaged the right rear of the car.
Yes, you can see that right rear is all bent up back there, so he is not going to get back in this race. He climbs out very dejected, but at least he's okay. Looked like a big jam up back there. A lot of cars involved, and lucky that he's the only one involved.
Stan drove at Phoenix and also had an encounter with an inside wall in turns 1 and 2, finished in 16th position. Here's a replay of what happened, and there's Stan losing it in turn 4.
It appeared he was all alone right in the middle of the pack. He spun. All those cars behind him did a great job getting on the brakes, not running into each other, and making it through, because you can see he's still right in the middle of the racetrack.
And a nice job of driving by all the other competitors behind him to avoid hitting him.
You know, this is a common problem in racing, guys. When you go out on the first lap of a race like this, your tires are cold, your car is cold, you don't have any time to get any heat in the tires, and these kind of things happen.
So the caution is out for the first time here at Homestead Miami Speedway. Jeff Ward is the leader of this race with 2 laps completed.
Jeff Ward, the pole man, he's away nice and cleanly. Unlike 10th place man in qualifying Stan Wattles, he reverses his way out of that particular race. Now, we weren't quite expecting the yellow so fast. You were saying there, Christopher, that there's a bump.
Yeah, no, there's a bit of a bump just as you come out of what was turn 4, so to speak, which is the combined 3 and 4. But I think what you just noticed there off camera is absolutely right, that it's a bit concerning that when that car turned round,
the wing, yeah,
the rear wing was actually lifting the back of the car up off as he came off the track. Poor old Stan, not a great start. It's very easily done. Famously, everyone will remember Roberto Guerrero doing that on the first lap of the Indy 500 from pole position. It's possible to do it. Cold tyres, and you
Let's
can
take
see
another look at this. I think he did it all on his own. He was on his own. Now watch this car when it gets into reverse. Just see the back. I don't know if it's that bump you're talking about. It just lifts it up.
There.
Look at that.
Yeah.
It lifts the rear of the car up with the wing acting in reverse. That's I've never noticed that before.
What is interesting though is that very early on in the IRL, when cars went backwards into the wall, quite a lot of drivers got injured.
Indeed.
But they put a lot of crush structure at the back of the car, and you can see he hopped out of there very nicely.
Well, the thing with single seaters, of course, you've got the gearbox and the engine right behind you, and it rams you straight up the backside when it reverses itself into a wall, which has been serious injury to quite a lot of single seat drivers on oval tracks, because there isn't a lot of runoff there, Russell.
And you're never going slowly.
No, indeed. Okay, well, look, we didn't actually get a chance before in our build-up to start getting the bets down here, did we really? Christopher, would you care to give us a winner for today, since we are live and you can't cheat it this week?
This is what happened the other day. I think Greg Ray, despite what we were saying earlier, Greg Ray's going to look strong. Salazar in his home track also strong, and I've got a little bit of money on Sarah Fisher in the top 3, but if you had to press me, Greg Ray for a win.
Greg Ray, well, that's unusual for you to get off that fence, really, isn't it, Christopher? Thank you for that. Russell.
Much.
Scott Sharp for the win, starting in a good position, not too sure about the reliability of the cars ahead of him, and I was very impressed with Sam Hornish in the first race of the year. I could see him finishing in the top 3 and consolidating a championship lead.
And can we now ask you the question?
Buddy Lazier. He's got to win one. I mean, I had him on Phoenix. Okay, we can go back now. We're looking at John Herb, who I won't ask our guests exactly what we're seeing at this moment in time.
Jeff Ward is the leader of this race. He took the lead from the pole position and has held it through the first 2 laps of green flag racing. He is a former Rookie of the Year at the Indianapolis 500, hails from San Juan Capistrano, California. Let's go down to Vince Welch.
Bob Jenkins, Jeff Ward added an extra gear before the race today, and his team manager, Mitch Davis, who also engineers the car, said they believe that's going to give them an extra 100 RPMs and an extra couple of miles per hour in the course of this race. The one thing they want to make sure they don't do is get on the rev limiter all day, so they've got that extra gear, 6th gear. They want to run in it all afternoon if possible, but if they have to come down to 5, they still believe they've got a very fast race car in that situation. Now let's go up the pit lane to Jack Arute.
Well, Vince, Buddy Lazier's Hemmelgarn crew has decided to add 3 gears. The difference between 6th, 5th, and 4th, Larry Rice, is just about 100 RPM. Now that's really cutting it close.
Well, they did that, Jack, because of the wind. If the wind picks up, then they're going to have to change gears. So they took a chance and put those 3 gears in.
Well, the countdown to the Indy 500 shifts into high gear in the race for the pole position. Indianapolis 500 time trials coming Saturday, May the 12th, here on ABC Sports. Before we go green, we check in again with Vince Welch.
Scott Sharp, keep an eye on him. He's been very sick, was running a high temperature last night. They had to give him 2 bags of fluids through IV this morning. I talked to him just before he got into the car. I said, how do you feel? He said, not good. This is a very treacherous race from a physical standpoint. It's going to be a difficult race on a young man who is not as strong as he normally would be because of illness. So keep an eye on Sharp, and if maybe he fatigues during the course of this race.
He is lined up in 5th position as we anticipate a restart of this 200-lap contest here at Homestead Miami Speedway. The pace begins to pick up as Jeff Ward steps on the accelerator, and the green flag waves. Once again, we're back to competition. This is the 10th IRL race that Ward has been in front. We see Sam Hornish now trying to get to the inside of Felipe Giafone, and he does. Hornish in that bright yellow Pennzoil Panther race car takes 3rd.
Now it looks to me like Sam Hornish is trying to pick up right where he left off in Phoenix.
He's very aggressive here early. Now comes Buddy Lazier around Giafone, so he too, after losing a few spots on the start, wants to get back up near the front.
And now Hornish, whoa, drafted on Greg Ray right to the end of the straightaway, then took a hard turn to the left and pulled alongside him. A great wheel-to-wheel battle through turns 2 and 3 down the backstretch as Hornish tries to get second from Ray, and he's going to do it at the end of the backstretch.
Greg Ray did not give up easy, though. He ran around that outside for one whole corner just to see how good he could do that in case later in the race he really had to do it and hang on.
Fellas, do you remember in Phoenix when the Pennzoil team said they were going to keep the bridle on Sam Hornish? Well, I talked to Kevin Blanche before the start of this race, and he said once Sam won that race, there's no bridle anymore. It's up to him, the pace and the speed that he sets in each event.
As you watch the rundown in the upper left of your screen, those little yellow arrows on the left indicate whether a driver has moved up or down from the last lap. We're on board with Buddy Lazier, who finds himself in 4th position now, about 2 1/4 seconds behind the leader of the race, Jeff Ward. We might also tell you that Robbie Buell has pulled his race car off the track. He is on the pit road, but he is getting assistance from the crew members as they push his car down to his assigned spot. So one of the Infiniti engines, the 35As that have come into prominence here in 2001, he is out of the race, not necessarily though because of the engine problem.
Yeah, he reported that everything just died. It just quit on him. He has no idea what happened.
There is Eliseo Salazar trailing behind Buddy Lazier, 4th and 5th position. The fastest car on the racetrack the last lap was Sam Hornish as he turned a lap at 194.2, whereas Jeff Ward, the leader of the race, his speed was 191.9. Down to Jack Arute, who's with John Hurd.
John, it's always most difficult when you're an aspiring driver and you get a seat now and again. What happened?
Well, we've been having some engine questions all weekend. I've been hearing things, and I've been cautious, letting those of the teams saying that I'm obviously a newer addition to the sport. I want to be sure that what I'm hearing is correct, and I guess we should have looked into it a little more. There was something wrong with the engine.
Thank you, John.
Thank you.
Here's Eliseo Salazar, and here is Jeff Ward, but you can see that the lead is shrinking as Sam Hornish Jr. closes in on Jeff Ward. Jeff Ward running for a new team in the Indy Racing League this year. This is Heritage Motorsports, and it brings together a couple of famous names from auto racing days gone by, Meekum and Rathman. And there you can see on the move as Hornish has gained 3 positions since the start of the race. Casey Mears has moved up 6 positions since the start, and there, on the other hand, are the guys who have lost some positions. Of course, Stan Waddles has already crashed out of the event, and John Herb is also out of competition.
Look at this. Here he goes. He's going to try for the lead going down the back straightaway. He got a great run through 1 and 2, and Ward just lets him go. He said, too early for this stuff.
Wow, Sam Hornish is really driving that car hard. It's amazing what getting a victory on your lap will do for your confidence, isn't it, Larry?
Well, it is. The thing they have to be aware of, though, is if he goes out there and burns the tires off, and all of a sudden after 15 or 20 laps, he drops off 5 miles an hour, then what happens? He's stuck for the next 20 laps running way slower than everybody else. But so far, he's not falling off.
Just like you mentioned, it could be the experienced driver that prevails here this afternoon. Sam Hornish has led in 3 of the last 4 IRL races now. There are the top 6 at the moment with 14 of 200 laps completed. Back in a moment.
So there it is then. You can see as we're cracking on here at the moment. Sam Hornish is the man of this race. He won in Phoenix, and that was obviously absolutely no fluke whatsoever. He posted the fastest time in February in the open test here at Homestead Track, then went on to win in Phoenix. This guy is on it.
Well, the car looks really well hooked up, doesn't it? I mean, he just went past there. That pass for the lead. He looks mighty. I think the American commentators were just telling us that worried about his rate of tyre wear. This can be an abrasive track. It is a hot day there. It really is a hot day, and that may be a worry. But I mean, he's looking strong.
He's looking strong indeed. Well, we'll see how he gets on in just a couple of minutes. Sam Hornish is the leader down at the Homestead Track in Miami. We're going to take a short break.
This April, Joe Calzaghe takes on Mario Veit, with the Welshman getting back to the best form of his career. Then, Richie Woodall is in a battle for the WBO World Super Middleweight title against big punching Toxa Woe.
Good left hook, right hand!
But first, Robert McCracken faces the Battersea bomber Howard Eastman for the British, Commonwealth and European middleweight titles. A month of world-class boxing begins with Eastman versus McCracken, Tuesday at 8, Sky Sports 1.
If you're 16 or over and looking for a new challenge, the Army offers a range of career training opportunities. Further education is just one of them. If you've got what it takes, take it further. Call 08457 300 111 and ask for your free video and Army Further Education Pack.
I've always enjoyed football, but I can't play anymore. Last year I was on a ladder at work when it collapsed. I hit the floor really hard, severely injuring myself. Life's difficult when an injury means you can't work. I called Claims Direct and discovered I was entitled to compensation. They worked really hard fighting my case and I was awarded £10,000.
Carl is glad he chose Claims Direct. Right now we're helping over 60,000 people get justice. And remember, if your claim is not successful, it won't cost you a penny. If you've been injured in an accident that wasn't your fault, at work, on the road, or a trip or fall anywhere, then contact Claims Direct today. For free advice 7 days a week, call 0800 970 0001 and speak to one of our Claims Direct specialists. That's 0800 970 0001. Call now.
Tough, eh? All that work, all that training, and for what? Kissy lips, fancy trainers. You know you can do it. Yes! 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 You've got Lucasade Sport inside you, right? And that helps the top athletes, the big kahunas, the bingo callers like you last longer. Fact! So dig deep and say, yes, Daddy, today's my day! Yeah!
New Walker's Squares. They're walkers in disguise.
Buy the Daily Mail and you could save 20% at Debenhams, Britain's favourite department store. Yes, 20% off. Save hundreds of pounds. Start in tomorrow's Daily Mail.
The MFI Easter sale is now on with 10, 20, 30, 40, even 50% off brands like Schreiber and Hygiena. Plus, we'll give you an oven free when you spend £500 on a new kitchen. Yes, it's on the house when you make it yours for less in the MFI Easter sale. Now on.
Drive to the inside in turn one, and Lazier is going to come out with that position.
Wow. That was a pretty brave move. Ray gave him lots of room, though, and let him go on by. I think Greg Ray has come a long way. He does that now where a few years ago he would have been racing really hard for that position this early in the race.
I think the concern was that perhaps because these turns are so flat, there was no banking, they would have to run single file through the corners, and that has not been the case. We've seen a couple of passes right in the middle of the corner, and here's Lazier trying to pass a slower car to the inside. That's Shige Hattori.
Yeah, he almost got under it, but Hattori got off the corner very well, and he just couldn't make it. Ooh, he had to get on the brakes right there. The car in front of him pulled down on him a little bit.
That's Casey Mears.
Both of them had to get on the brakes.
The other thing is, guys, we're only a few laps into this race so far. As the laps go on and the marbles build up off the racing line, that wider line is going to go away because it's going to get real slick out there.
On board with Greg Ray, running fourth right now, about 7 seconds behind the leader of the race.
The real key is to stay on the lead lap. If you started a little bit in the back of the field, you've got to make sure you stay on the first or the lead lap until the first pit stop.
Heavy traffic for Buddy Lazier. In front of him and beside him, that is Casey Mears. Now up ahead of him is going to be Robbie McGee in the black car.
These guys are all being very careful in this traffic. They don't want to make any big mistakes. They want to make sure the spotters are telling the guys in front of them that they're there.
And we are yellow once again. And here is Robbie Buell, whose car has stopped over in turn number 2. So obviously some major problems for the Team Purex car.
Well, they didn't have a good day yesterday. They had all kinds of problems yesterday, and it looks like that problems have just continued.
Well, with 28 laps completed, you can bet, as you can see on your screen, that the pit crews are going to become very, very busy here. Now, the pits are closed right now until the pace car can pick up the leader and pack up the field. But when that pit lane is open, you're going to see a mad scramble because all these guys, again, only 29 laps completed, but they need tires. Jack?
Sam Hornish was complaining just a little bit, Bob, about having a slight understeer. What, as you know, that means you turn the car and the nose wants to go out to the front. But the crew has decided not to take that understeer out of the car. They feel that it may go away simply by putting some new tires and adding 35 gallons of fuel. They are set, ready to go, and this is when it becomes an orchestrated ballet. Do you realize that you can add 35 gallons of fuel, change 4 tires, faster than you could pour a 20-ounce Pepsi into a cup?
Well, you can see there on the right of your screen where Hornish and Ward will pit. Sam is all the way down toward pit end or pit exit toward turn number 1. And now they begin to approach the area.
It's a short fill, guys. It's only just over half a tank used.
Now they're not going to pit this time.
Now one more lap.
Pits are still closed, so they will pit next lap.
You know what this is shaping up to, Bob? This is sort of shaping up to the crafty old veteran and the young guy with all the passion and exuberance. It's kind of like you and me in the booth, really, isn't it?
Bob, do you remember at Phoenix when Sam Hornish pitted? He had a car directly in front of him by the name of Buddy Lazier. Well, there's an open pit in front of Sam Hornish this time. So the wing clipping that went on at Phoenix for young Sam Hornish, I don't think we're going to see it here. But the drag race to the line that allows you to come back up past the 60-mile-an-hour speed limit, that ought to be fun to watch.
You can see the cars that are pitting have dropped down to the warm-up lane as they slow down again to 60 miles an hour to make this pit stop. Split screen will show you Jeff Ward's pit stop and Sam Hornish. Ward, of course, will be the first to stop in his pit, and so the crew will go to work much faster. It's going to be a long way down to the end for Sam Hornish.
And this is what pit crews live for. These guys absolutely live for this kind of thing. If they can get their driver out quicker than the other car and get him any kind of advantage, they're going to be some happy pit workers.
You see that right there? They put some wing in the front of that car. He told them to move quick, a front wing, and they did that.
Wow, almost 3 seconds faster pit stop for Sam Hornish Jr. as he gets out well ahead of Jeff Ward and everybody else for that matter. We'll be back with more from Miami Homestead in a moment.
What more build-up do you need? Hornish versus Ward at the moment. We are in for an absolute cracker in Miami, there's no doubt about it. Well, as you all know, the man who won the first round was Sam Hornish, and we can take a look back now to Phoenix and just see how he did it. Sam Hornish, just 21 years old, winning his first IRL race, and I have to say Phoenix was very, very exciting, wasn't it, Russell?
It was an excellent race and a great performance. What I'm thinking about at the moment is Michael Andretti is looking on the one hand very shrewd because he's going to be Hornish's teammate at Indianapolis, and he's obviously in one of the best cars in the field, but he's coming up against a quick and comparatively unknown to him teammate, so the chemistry there is going to be really interesting at Indy.
Did you think, Christopher, that Sam Hornish, I mean, he qualified back on row 3, but he had been fast in pre-season testing here at this track. Did you think he would be this fast, or his team will have got the setup so good for today?
Well, I mean, as we were saying earlier, the team have really got it well hooked up, and the thing that's most impressive about Hornish is how calm he is. Do you remember, Keith, at the end of last race, when he got out of the car, he wasn't all punched up and excited and so on, it was just what he thought he ought to be doing. Let's see how he goes today.
Indeed. Well, there we are, second place man Jeff Ward. We are still under yellow in Miami. These are live pictures, and so we better get back to the track.
Starting the Indy 500.
My favorite Indy 500 memory would have to be winning the 1997 Indy 500 Rookie of the Year. I led 49 laps towards the end there, and at first I was a little disappointed because we didn't win the race. That's what we went there for. But then within about a minute after getting out with the crowd cheering, it was I realized what a feat I just accomplished, and it was really something that made me really want to go back there and win that race.
Remember, on May 27th, our coverage begins at 11 a.m. as we cover once again the greatest spectacle in racing, the 85th running of the Indy 500. Let's go down to Jackaroo for an update from pit road.
Well, Bob, A.J. Foyt's car, Eliseo Salazar, and Buddy Lazier's car for the Tybo team, they both made major adjustments to try and take the car and make it handle a little bit better in traffic. There was a close call, though, on pit road. It gets to be tight quarters. The tire man for A.J. Foyt had to do a little bit of a ballet to stay out of the way of Lazier.
Getting set to go back to racing on 35 laps. I'm Bob Jenkins along with Larry Rice and Jason Priestley up here. We're covering the Infiniti Grand Prix of Miami, second race of the 2001 Indy Racing League campaign. Now, a couple of drivers got an advantage because of that caution. Calkins and Hattori were at the tail end of the lead lap. They're able to go all the way around the racetrack, and Allenzer Jr. was close to being lapped when that yellow came out, but he's okay now as Jeff Ward tries to take the top spot back away from Sam Hornish. They run wheel to wheel through the corners. Who will come out with the advantage? Will it be Ward or Hornish? They're still side by side as they go all the way down the backstretch, and now Ward gets the slight advantage.
Wow, that's amazing that they could go wheel to wheel like that through these corners. There's not a lot of banking here. I think as the race goes on, though, there's going to be too many marbles out there. Wouldn't you say, Larry?
Well, I don't know, but Hornish was very high on the racetrack. He was almost three-car widths out there, and he seemed to be sticking very well, which is a very good sign for him.
On board with Buddy Lazier, who runs third. Closing in, however, on Sam Hornish as they go down the backstretch. Lazier will probably try to make a move here late in the straightaway, but gets the job done. Nice move by Buddy.
Obviously, this set of tires for Sam Hornish does not feel nearly as good as the last set. Sometimes you change stagger, or sometimes the tire will grow. This set obviously has done something that he doesn't like because he's gotten passed by 2 cars in 2 laps.
And once again, we see speeds back up above 190 miles an hour. Fastest car on the racetrack that last lap was Buddy Lazier at 191.3. Jeff Ward was second quick at 190.959. But we will continue to see those laps drop off as they wear down the tires.
Yeah, Larry, I asked about the situation with Sam Hornish, if he had a bad set of tires or what have you. His crew tells me he just got startled on that restart. Jeff Ward smoked him, and it's taken a couple of laps for him to get his composure back.
Well, that can happen. If you lose a little bit of a rhythm around any kind of a racetrack, you've got to get yourself back together. And the other thing that might be happening, if he slows up a little bit, maybe he can run faster near the end of the segment, and they may be telling him, that's okay, we want to be fast near the end, not near the first.
The other thing that could have happened is that Jeff Ward was a motocross racer for years and years and years, and there's no one better at a hole shot than Jeff Ward.
On board with Buddy Lazier, whose little boy Flynn celebrated his 2nd birthday yesterday, and Buddy wanted desperately to give his son a pole position birthday present. Didn't quite work out that way as Buddy had to settle for the 3rd starting position, but right now he is running in the 2nd spot. Up ahead is the leader of the race, Jeff Ward, and the interval is 0.6 of a second.
Buddy Lazier is very interesting to watch. He's always doing something in that cockpit. He doesn't just leave his hands on the wheels. He's always working something inside there. Philippe Ginafoni also on that last pit stop. He missed the signal to come in on the lap. He went in a lap later. He dropped from 6th to 14th as a result.
And we'll check the speeds at the line as the field comes off the corner and records their speed. And once again, we see that Lazier is quicker than Jeff Ward. The 3rd fastest car on the racetrack would be Scott Sharp at 190.1.
Obviously, he's not feeling that bad.
Here is Greg Ray, who is running in 5th position, and right behind him is Scott Sharp. The Delphi Automotive Kelly Racing Machine.
He certainly doesn't look like a guy who's sick in that race car. He's been very aggressive since the start of the race and pulled right up on the back of Ray just a few minutes ago.
They tell me you can be pretty sick, but when you get into the race car, you tend to concentrate on what's going on and not think so much about how sick you are.
Yeah, no, that's definitely true. Once you get in the race car and you get into the race, a whole lot of other things that may be wrong with you seem to go away.
Concentration and focus are so important. You're concentrating so hard on what you're doing out there because your life is literally in your hands, so you have to do that, and so it just puts everything else out of your mind.
Our telemetry showed you that he was about half throttle through the corner and then nailed it and moved up to 98% throttle down the straightaways. We're talking about Scott Sharp. 43 laps have been completed. Jeff Ward is the leader of the race by 0.6 of a second over Buddy Lazier. We'll return after more of the Infiniti Grand Prix of Miami after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
Looking for the bluest adult entertainment available? Then turn on to Private Blue. Private Blue. 7.5 hours of blue, raunchy erotica. Looking for the best girl-on-girl action? Then switch to Private Girls. Private Girls. A channel devoted to all girl ecstasy. Private Blue, channel 980. Private Girls, channel 988, each for just £5.
Crunchy biscuits, chewy caramel, creamy chocolate, crunchy, chewy, creamy. It's all in the mix. Crunchy biscuit, crunchy, chewy, creamy. It's all in the mix.
Harrison Ford.
Something is happening in our house.
Michelle Pfeiffer. There are no ghosts. What lies beneath? Rented from Easter weekend.
Planning a holiday in Florida? Look how close you are to Busch Gardens, the perfect holiday. This close. Close enough to take your whole family on our newest adventure, Rhino Rally, the world's boldest off-road safari river adventure. Close enough to take on thrilling world-class coasters. And close enough to come face-to-face with the Serengeti's greatest creatures. Busch Gardens Tampa Bay puts you and your family right in the middle of all the action. So, if you're coming to Florida, don't miss this chance to go to one of America's premier theme parks. Busch Gardens, about an hour away from Orlando. You can even take our shuttle bus. Call Virgin Holidays today at the number on your screen for complete package and ticket information to Busch Gardens. Or call your local travel agent. And be sure to ask about the Adventure Passport for great savings on 2 of Florida's best theme parks. Busch Gardens Tampa Bay. A whole other world is closer than you think.
Census will give a picture of Britain that helps plan all our futures. Complete the form and complete the picture.
Buy the Daily Mail and you could save 20% at Debenhams, Britain's favourite department store. Yes, 20% off. Save hundreds of pounds. Start in tomorrow's Daily Mail.
Tom Green here at Muscle Beach with some big, tough weightlifters. We're going to show how new Right Guard Extreme Sport works even under the most extreme conditions.
Back, stop!
Uh-oh. Run! Oh no, the kid is going to get you! He got ya! The extreme protection against odor and wetness. Smells good.
New Right Guard Extreme Sport. Get extreme, get Right Guard.
Ouch.
Felt like they had a real chance today, and obviously the way that they're both moving up through the field, that just may be the case.
The Kelly teammates are running 4th and 5th. Dismore is 4th, and Sharp is in the 5th position.
Bob, this is a reunification of Mitch Davis, a crew chief, and Jeff Ward with this Heritage Motorsports team that is leading in only their second race together with the Rathman-Meekum combination as ownership. I asked Mitch Davis in the morning what the strategy was going to be, and he said, we learned a lot watching Sam Hornish lead 140 laps at Phoenix. We sat down and decided we're going to lead as many laps as we can and try and get away from the rest of the field. I asked him, when was the last time he did that? He said, the last time I was together with Jeff Ward.
Right now, Ward has led 31 of the 53 laps that we have had so far. Greg Ray to your left, Eliseo Salazar passing a slower car. To your right, Salazar's running in 7th position, about 7 seconds behind the leader.
Yeah, he got caught behind Buzz Calkins, and that cost him a lot of track position.
Alonso Jr. is not having too bad a race either. He started back in the 19th position and is currently up to the 8th spot. So Alonso Jr. is beginning to make things happen for the Gallus team.
And in talking to the Gallus team, they're running 3 cars this year, and they told me that they just didn't have enough engineering capabilities. They weren't sure how much they needed to run 3 cars, but they seem like they've got it sorted out now. They brought in another engineer this weekend, and things seem to be going much better for them.
More from Vince Welch.
Well, the key for little Al so far in this race, not just what he's doing on the track, but what his team did for him in the pit lane. He came in during that first stop in 16th place, and when he left the pit lane, he was in 9th. This is a racetrack where the pit crew could win the race for you in the pit box, and Al Unser just took a major stride in that first stop.
We mentioned yesterday that Gordon Kopic has been hired as an engineer on that team. That's true, but he won't take over his position until the Atlanta race in 3 weeks. Oh, good battle here as Sam Hornish and Buddy Lazier are running second and third, and Hornish to the inside and will try to get that position from Buddy, and will do so.
Yeah, Buddy just kind of moved over and let him go. Once he got to the inside, Buddy didn't want to run outside him and take any chances. Way too early in the race for that.
Larry, one of the reasons why is Buddy Lazier is reporting that his car has gone loose on him. So he's got a handful, especially when you consider the fact that for more than half of the lap, every time around here, you're in the middle of a corner trying to hold on to a bucking Bronco.
Well, that's right. 8 seconds in every corner. So that's 16 seconds a lap out of a 27 or 28 second lap that you're in a corner. So you're really fighting that thing if it's not handling.
We talked about this during qualifying yesterday. Buddy, it seems like, does something with his left hand every opportunity he gets. He'll take it off the steering wheel.
Well, the last time he pulled his seatbelt and then he reached down and adjusted the sway bar a little bit. That straight away, he used the radio and talked to this guy. So he's always doing something. He's very interesting to watch.
He's very busy in the car. If he's actually got a loose car, he's going to be playing with those sway bars a lot, trying to dial out that looseness.
Look at Sam Hornish Jr. He has closed in.
He picked up a push. He got so close to the back end, it took the air off the front of that car, and that car went right up towards the wall. Not real far that he couldn't catch it, but it did move up the racetrack.
Just lost a little bit of momentum, so he'll have to catch back up to Jeff Ward. Ward has led 37 laps so far. Sam Hornish has led 21. The other leader that we have had so far, Felipe Giafonius, he led 1 lap when he did not pit during that caution period. He pitted, but not until the second opportunity to do so. And Hornish now is going to try to the outside, maybe.
He runs higher through the corners than anybody here. Now that he's going to get picked off by this slower car, I don't think he can do... Yeah, he had to get on the brakes.
Oh, look at this.
Man, you don't want to have a Firestone moment like that. Those tires touch, you're going to be in big trouble.
That was Robbie McGee that they scrambled around and did so successfully. McGee running back in 17th position, 2 laps down.
You can see the cheerleaders. That was his pit crew in there clapping their hands. That's okay. You did a good job.
Close to Ward again. You do have 6th gear.
You can see how the speed again has dropped off. His last lap was 180 miles an hour. Yes, it was in traffic, but still it's dropped off considerably because it's been a while since he was in for a pit stop. 31 laps, as a matter of fact.
Look how fast he is through the center of the corner, though. Look at this, how fast he closed on him coming off the corner. That time he pushed the front end and had to get out of the throttle right at the very end, or he would have had a chance.
Now he takes the spot.
I think Jeff Ward's crew chief said, hey, this guy's going to do something here. Let's let him go and worry about it later.
Yep.
Larry, here's also what happened. Kevin Blanchett told them to save their tires. Sam Hornish has done so. He says, now we're going to eat them up and spit them out.
Hornish leads over Ward, Lazier, Dismore, and Sharp at Homestead Miami Speedway.
What a race this is turning into. 5th qualifier Sam Hornish then absolutely driving the race, well, of the year so far. I've got to say, Christopher Tate here in the studio with me, really that boy is flying, but the car, he's able to run anywhere on the track that he wants to. The car is right with him.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's important that the viewers at home should know that we're all sitting on the edge of our seats screaming as well. I mean, this is great stuff.
But the fact of the matter was that after the restart, after the yellow, he had a little bit of trouble. Everyone got in front of him, and he's slowly but surely beaten himself through. You can see Etan Dare there, I think he's the rookie man that drove so well last time, a Brazilian, but Etan Dare out of the car. But Hornish, getting back to Hornish, I mean, the car was away from him earlier on when he came out of the pits. There was some talk in commentary circles that maybe the tyres didn't suit him quite so much, but then he just got on it again, didn't he?
I've got a feeling that actually the car's not so good on full tanks, so when it comes out of the pits with a full fuel load, it doesn't work quite as well, and he has to wait for the car to come in and the tyres to come in. So he has to play a waiting game, and then he can attack. And of course he attacks fantastically well.
It looked like Jeff Ward had selected the wrong gear as he went past him a moment ago. That was just the unbelievable for oval racing to go under somebody that fast.
And also he could run half a car width higher up the track than anybody else as well. So effectively he's got more track width to use because the car's so good through the middle of the corner.
As the track gets dirty though, Christopher, is that going to cause him a problem, running higher up the track?
Well, maybe. The thing we were really interested in just then is that he's not afraid to run in a strange line and coming right up behind the back markers. I mean, he feels entire confidence in his car. He's all over the track, in the right sense of being all over the track, and that may go away from him later on in the race as the track does marble up. This track here at Homestead, Miami, gets a lot of blow off the immediate vicinity, dust, muck, collecting on the track, so it can get very, very much a one-track racetrack later on in the race. We'll hope it doesn't, because this is just great racing.
Indeed it is. Russell, there was some talk again in commentary circles from the trackside that Hornish, the youngster, 21 years old, versus the more experienced men out on this oval. Are you seeing any disparity in there at the moment? Doesn't seem to count for much, does it?
No, it doesn't. And Lazier has gone from having a car that understeers to a car that oversteers, and you can see him going down the straight, adjusting stuff on the car, trying to make it work.
They did put more wedge on the front though, we saw that, and the commentators picked that up quite well when they pitted. You can see him very hurriedly put a lot more wing on the front of the car, which has stopped it from pushing and loosening the rear end up. Is he going to be able to adjust that from the cockpit?
I don't think he is. I think he would have done it by now if he could, but they'll do it at the next pit stop. But it's he's got to stay there. He's got to stay within sight of Hornish and plan a counter-attack.
Buddy Lazier, I mean, he's won many a good race in his time, and obviously the reigning champ as far as this lot's concerned. At the moment, he's just an interested spectator for the top two, isn't he, really?
Well, I mean, we mustn't give Russell's hot tip too much encouragement at this stage, Keith. You know, with a long way to go. But
he didn't tip Sam Hornish.
But
in fact, none of us did.
I think Lazier's in an ideal position. I mean, he's looking strong. He can see what's going on. Just now, under this Etan Dare inspired yellow, everyone's had a chance to pop back in again, give it a bit of a tweak.
Is that the experience that I was on about earlier? Lazier is not panicking to the scratching Hornish.
There's no need, and there are a number of people we haven't seen really coming forward yet. We did see a little bit of camera time for Al Unser Jr. coming forward, and Eddie Cheever is clearly, the Infiniti engine is a bit slower, he's there, but this is an important stop here for Hornish.
Okay, well, Dare's car is at the side of the track while they clear that and sort themselves out. The pace car came out, we're under a yellow, our third of the day, and you can see there Sam Hornish, their crew are working so well, getting right back out on track again. New set of boots on the car. Let's cross then to our commentators at trackside and hear what's going on live from Homestead.
This race, it gives us an opportunity in this Mobile One update to tell you what's gone on regarding the Indy Racing League since our last race at Phoenix a few weeks ago. Last Tuesday, the IRL welcomed a new engine partner. Beginning in 2003, Toyota will be an engine supplier, joining GM and Infiniti.
Arguably, it might be the biggest announcement we've had since the inception of the Indy Racing League. So we're obviously very pleased with Toyota's announcement to come on board, but also equally happy that GM and Nissan and Infiniti are going to continue their participation as well.
The Indianapolis 500, the greatest spectacle in motorsports, racing, you know, why wouldn't we want to be a part of it?
And after a 5-year absence, Michael Andretti will be back at Indy this year.
Started to really understand what the IRL was all about and sort of like the direction that they were going. You know, I think a lot of things they're doing right. I think we have a real good shot at doing well here, and maybe my best shot ever.
Oh, the month of May is going to be fantastic this year. There's the reason for the most recent caution. Etan Dare's car on the hook. There's Kevin Blanche from the Pennzoil Panther Racing Team, who has got their driver in and out of the pits quickly. However, Allenzer Jr. is being shown as the leader, Vince.
That's not going to be the case, though, because Allenzer Jr. is being given a stop-and-go penalty. Rick Gallis, why was the stop-and-go penalty?
Well, they opened the pits and then they closed the pits, and we'd already committed to our pit stop, so we did just what they told us, and that's all I can say.
That's a big, big problem for this team because they'd made up so much ground the first pit stop through. They'd made up 7 spots in their first stop, and that could be a costly one when you come to the end of the race here this afternoon, Jackaroo.
Well, Vince, we want to watch this restart. Remember the last restart, Sam Hornish was a little slow. That was by design, although it rattled him just a bit. Now, he has Pancho Carter, a former Indy racer himself, spotting for the Pennzoil team up on the roof. They have discussed at length for about the last 2 laps as we see the stop and go being completed on Allenzer Jr. But what Hornish is going to do now is he is going to show people how he can restart racing. He actually radioed back up to Pancho and said, watch this one.
Now remember, the new rule in the Indy Racing League competition this year is that the pace car picks up the leader of the race for restarts. Now you can see right now that there are 4 cars between Sam Hornish, the leader of the race, and the pace car. Those 4 cars are going to be allowed to go clear around the racetrack, and when we get to the green flag, Sam will be directly behind the pace car. Allenzer Jr., who just observed his stop-and-go penalty, of course, is a 2-time Indianapolis 500 winner and hopes very much that he can find a 3rd victory this year at Indy.
Well, his crew is very upset. They felt like they did exactly what they were told to do. They said the pits were open, they went in, and they were already stopped, I guess, when they decided to have the drive-through, which means everybody just went straight through the pits and back in line again. So they feel like they might have done a little injustice right there by having that stop-and-go penalty.
Now you can see the 4 cars that were between Hornish and the pace car have gone around the racetrack as we get ready for the restart of this race.
Bob, one of the drivers that we thought would be making a move from the back of the pack toward the front today was Eddie Cheever, but so far that has not happened. Cheever's had some problems with his race car. He says he's got good balance by himself, but it's loose when he gets behind somebody. Says he's got a very nervous race car, and Larry, you can certainly attest that when the car is nervous, the driver usually is too.
He's a lot more nervous than the race car usually, let me tell you, because you don't want to have a car that feels bad here. But for the end of the race, though, he and crew chief they're going to get things together, and believe me, they'll be better near the end of the race.
All right, here is Ward now taking a shot at the leader. Didn't quite have the momentum build up to take the lead from Sam Hornish. Here's our pit in and out statistics as the first 3 stayed the same. Greg Ray was in 8th and out 4th, and Sarah Fisher picked up some position. She came in 9th position and is now shown in 5th.
You know, Sarah was real happy with the way that she qualified yesterday, and I'm sure she's been pretty happy with the way she's been running so far today.
There is Sarah in the blue and white Kroger-sponsored Walker racing machine.
Very nice. You got Al behind you. Just keep doing what you're doing.
Now Allenzer Jr. is back up to 6th position after that stop-and-go penalty.
Sarah appears to be very comfortable in the race car, and that's the key to a racetrack like this where you spend so much time in the corners. You've got to have a race car that feels good, and she seems to be running through there off the white line just barely, but still very nicely through the corners.
Her speed last lap was 185.849 miles an hour.
It's a remarkably smooth track, this track. I mean, aside from being so abrasive and hard on the tires, it really is a smooth track, isn't it, Larry?
Oh yeah, it's very, very smooth. Probably one of the smoothest these guys run on anywhere in the circuit.
You know, they have been comparing this track only to Indianapolis as far as what you can expect during a race. Why is that?
because it takes so much precision. You have to be very precise with little banking like this. You can't use the banking to make up for an ill-handling race car. So you've got to be very precise when you enter the corner, through the middle, and off the corner. There's not any room for error. When you've got banking, when you've got 24, 25 degrees of banking, it'll kind of hold you if you make a little mistake. Here, you cannot make a mistake.
Al Unser Jr. has competed here in the kart series 4 times. Most recently in 1999, he crashed on the first lap and broke his ankle. We're on board now with Scott Sharp, who is right behind Al Unser Jr. in the 7th position. And they're about 7.3 seconds behind the leader, Sam Hornish.
I think he's done a very good job as well.
We had the privilege of being in the drivers' meeting earlier today when all the drivers are gathered together, and Brian Barnhart, the director of racing for the Indy Racing League, had a discussion with them and explained to them a little bit why this is a tough racetrack.
Anthem and the green flag, third time by.
This racetrack's going to require the same concentration, focus, respect, and attention that Indianapolis does. It's going to be a very similar event. It's 200 miles shorter, but 200 laps around here is not going to be a heck of a lot different what you're going to do in about a month and a half.
Well, concentration is a key factor in any racetrack, but at this racetrack, because you spend so much time in the corners, at Indy you enter, you get a middle, and you exit. Then you enter, get a middle, and an exit. Here you enter, and you go forever through the middle, and then you exit. So you really have to concentrate and make sure that baby's going to stick when you get it in the corner.
Yeah, I actually had the opportunity to drive one of the Kelly cars here at this track, and the amount of time that you spend in the corners is really remarkable. I mean, you feel like you're never going to get out of the corner. It just keeps going and going and going. And you see the way when they apex, when they come down here close to the white line, they stay there for a long time. It's not a normal corner where you apex on a very short for a very short distance. See, he's going to come down here to the line. He's going to stay here for a long time.
Well, you can see this shot from Eddie Cheever. He runs as close to the wall off of the corner as any race car driver anywhere on any racetrack. He loves to use the racetrack every inch of it.
Eddie Cheever Jr. running in the 8th position, about 11 seconds behind the leader, Sam Hornish, who has a 2-second advantage over Jeff Ward.
Tomorrow, it's Derby Day in the Northeast. Middlesbrough face Sunderland. A tough challenge Venables dare not lose as Borough battle for survival against the Black Cats, who refuse to give up their chase for European football. Then, on Wednesday, favourites Fulham are almost there. Second place Blackburn have the Premiership in their sights. It's going to be a tough battle at the top of the First Division. 2 big games tomorrow and Wednesday, exclusively live, Sky Sports 1 and Extra.
Experience Oasis on the edge of the Lake District and enjoy over 100 activities. Oasis, nowhere comes close. For a brochure, call 08705 086 086.
I choose to believe the glass is half full and that life is to be enjoyed, not endured. So I choose essential, the passionate and the delightful. Choose happiness. I choose to say yes. Choose Capri.
There you go. Oh, music choice. Yeah, it's changed though. Press the red button to get into it.
Right, let's have a look. I know what we need. Ah, dance. Anna, why is Hit still playing?
Oh, the music won't change while you're browsing until you hit select.
Oh, clever.
Right, you. Back to the pots.
Wouldn't it be great if someone else paid for the fun things in
Very
life?
much. Mr. McCabe, just to let you know that the price of your ticket has been fully refunded to you today. Is that all right?
Yeah, well, sorry.
That gentleman over there has paid for it for you.
Sorry, you are...
I'm Mr. Miles, sorry, how do you do?
Why should you do this?
Well, it breaks up my day and, you know, I like to do it.
I'm absolutely staggered.
Sorry.
Air miles do just that. They're easy to earn, and you can only spend them on stuff that's fun.
Census will give a picture of Britain that helps plan all our futures. Complete the form and complete the picture.
Jackaroo, who has Ayrton Dare and Robbie Buell.
Well, Ayrton Dare, the 1-800-BAR-NONE car, was really important for you to perform well today because so many people were here watching it, both family, friends, and sponsors. You got up to 9th.
Yeah, that was a shame for us. You know, everybody came down here to Miami, all the people from 1-800-BAR-NONE, and the car was running real good. It's getting better and better while the other guys are getting slower and slower. So I was really looking forward for the end of the race. But every time we got a good car like this, I don't know, something happened and put us out of the race. I don't know.
Robbie Buell, the Purex team, still having some teething problems with the 35A Infiniti engine?
Well, we had problems on Saturday. We really don't know what happened. I mean, it's something electronic related. Maybe a sensor went, but you know, it happened on the restart. What was that? The third lap of the race. So, pretty frustrating weekend for the Purex guys.
Well, Bob, for Robbie Buell, it's still a successful weekend. On Thursday, he visited a bunch of kids at the Miami Children's Hospital, and that makes over 11,000 children Robbie and Racing for Kids have touched with racing.
And he does that at just about every race that he goes to, making sure that he gets there in time for a visit with the kids. Al Unser Jr. is in 5th position, coming up on the 4th place car of Greg Ray. Now, remember, Al Unser Jr. was penalized. He was given a stop and go. He was allowed to blend into traffic as he got back onto the speedway, and since that time he has moved up nicely and is in 5th.
That was a huge break because he didn't have all the lap cars in front of him. If he'd had to go to the end of the line, he would have had a lot of lap cars, but this way he's been on a great run since he got back out on the racetrack.
You know, it's amazing to see Al running this quickly. He really never got on the pace through Friday and Saturday through practice and qualifying. Right now he's running incredibly well. Like our old friend Larry the Swami knew, experience pays off.
Well, on full tanks he was pretty quick. Eddie Cheever told us when I talked to him a little earlier that he had followed him on full tanks and he thought he was pretty quick, so he kind of gave me the heads up.
And fellas, I got to tell you one thing. Rick Gallis is gunning for all of you after Phoenix when you called that the super team. He said to me, he says, how can I have 2 rookies and Larry and Jason and Bob can call me a super team? I just love the IRL.
Well, his driver, Didier Andre, had a real struggle at Phoenix, but he's doing very well here this afternoon. He started out in 26th position, and Andre, although he is 2 laps down, is in the 15th spot.
While we were saying all that, Al Unser Jr. just passed Greg Ray for 4th position. It was a nice pass. He's doing really well.
That's Buzz Calkins that they're putting another lap on. He's 3rd, 3 laps down. And a lot of traffic out there on the racetrack as Buddy Lazier has several cars in front of him. Lazier running 3rd.
Well, that's Jeff Ward right there. That's the car that he's trying to chase down. But all this traffic, he's been very cautious, and he let him get a little bit ahead of him right there.
There is Ward about 4 seconds behind the leader, Sam Hornish. Here comes Buddy Lazier to the inside of Brandon Irwin, who is running in 21st position, 4 laps down.
You can hear right there, Lazier's out of the throttle a little bit. These guys are running down in the high 180s, just like we expected.
And once again, that left hand goes to work.
Well, he's down there. He's really works that weight jacker and the sway bar. Almost every corner, every straightaway, he's down there again. That's the weight jacker. See, he's twisting. When he twists his hand back and forth, that's the weight jacker. He's probably taking a little weight out if it's pushing.
Now he's on the radio. We're nearing the halfway point of this event. 97 laps have been completed. I think they're having radio problems because the crew chief said that they couldn't hear him either.
I was going to say exactly the same thing. That could be a problem.
Wow. He's loose getting into the corner there, that's for sure.
Yeah, he said he's loose, except when he gets up behind the car.
You see what we just did there was time how long Buddy was actually in the corner, and it was 8.4 seconds. Boy, I'll tell you guys, I've driven this track. It feels like an eternity when you're in there.
That's, of course... You, of course, multiply that by 2 for every lap.
Here we go again. Let's see how long he goes through 3 and 4. Here's 3. Here's the exit of 4.
Yep.
Long time.
Cheever said it was about 8 seconds, and that's what we're seeing with Eddie Cheever.
You know, it's a really long time at these speeds going through that corner, too. The lateral G's on your body, they sort of pull you in against the outside of the car. And what most of the drivers do is just try and relax and rest their shoulder up against the inside of the car and just try and relax against the car. Because if you try and fight the G-forces that are pulling you to the right side of the car, you end up getting exhausted the guys would be exhausted by now.
Right, when these guys are running 195 miles an hour, they're pulling about 3 Gs through these corners. The space shuttle pulls 4 Gs when it takes off, to put it in perspective.
Sam Hornish Jr. is now halfway through the event. 5-second lead over Jeff Ward and Buddy Lazier.
It's the usual suspects as far as Miami's Homestead is concerned. Sam Hornish, Jeff Ward and Buddy Lazier lead this race then, and I have to say with a 5-second lead now, Sam Hornish is extending his lead, Russell, and looks to have calmed down. Nice smooth racing. He's shown us several styles, I feel, at Homestead so far today.
He has. He's done a really good job. He's in the right place at the right time of the race, but what he's got to worry about, of course, is when he comes in for his next fuel stop, if the car works on the next set of tyres, if he's still got that problem on full tanks that we talked about. But no, he's doing a great job.
Buddy Lazier seems to be pulling every handle and lever he's got in that cockpit at the moment to try and get the car to be where he wants it to be.
I think it's really interesting for people to see, Keith, how hard you have to work on an oval racetrack, particularly one as complex and as changing as the 1.5 miles here at Homestead, in order to keep the thing in there. And his hands are going. The sway bar is to Europeanise the anti-roll bar, but he's got the weight jacker as well, which moves the weight around and so on. All the things you can fiddle with. Everyone is so busy in the cockpit, it's fascinating to see.
On the rev limiter there, we're looking at live pictures. This is Homestead from a driver's eye point of view, well, not quite, just a little bit higher actually. That's him just below us. Now then, you were worried a little bit about the weather when we came here, but it looks as if it's going to stay with us nice and dry.
Well, they're very lucky. I mean, famously, the opening kart race here at Homestead ended under a yellow flag, having been through endless little patches and dryers and start again and so on. So it's very good. This is the right sort of weather for the right sort of race, and the IRL's putting on a great show.
Russell, and we've talked about the IRL emerging as a real force in motor racing worldwide now. I defy anybody not to be interested in what's going on today. But let's talk about the guys chasing Sam Hornish at the moment. Jeff Ward, the poleman, and Buddy Lazier, the 5th place qualifier. I mean, those two guys, well, they must have some tactics up their sleeve, but it's difficult to see where they're going to catch up with this kid at the moment.
It did. The surprise for me is just the sheer speed of Hornish. I thought the Menard engines would either...
You said fragile.
I said fragile, but I thought they'd be quick but fragile. And actually, they've just proved to be not on the pace of the engine in the Panther car.
Well, we're over half distance now. We've got another 97 laps or so to go, 98 laps to go of this racetrack. How do you see this race developing now from what's been going on? We've seen Al Unser Jr. despite the stop and go, he's on the move. He's come right up through, I think, into 4th place now, so he's actually moving into the frame pretty well. So Little Al might be one to watch at this moment, Chris.
Yeah, and there are a number of people moving up there. Interesting. I was very impressed by Sarah Fisher's
stop bring you to that.
and the restart, and that's just pure Walker Motorsports team. I mean, they're really coaching her all the time. They did a great job. They got her out quickly, and she was running well in the top 6. Just behind the top 6, we've
Still got to be
Cheever.
able to drive it, though, haven't you? I mean,
Yeah,
staying with Sarah Fisher a minute, I mean, she looked very, very smooth and in control.
That's no criticism at all. I mean, when I say she's being coached through it, I mean, she's a very talented driver. She's doing a great job, and she's really gone very well. And she did look, the car looked beautifully set up, didn't it? When we saw the onboard with her hands weren't moving at all. But look at the way Hornish is going through the
around the outside and everywhere, like a hot knife through butter. We can cross them back to our track commentators, and just look at this. I can't wait to hear what they've got to say about it.
Now, this is the information that we see up here in the booth. On the far left, that indicates that number 1 up by Sam Hornish's name indicates that he was the fastest that last lap. Ward was 2nd quick, Lazier 3rd quick. The red column is, of course, the running order. The blue column is the number of the car. Then you have the driver. The number of laps that the leader, Sam Hornish, has completed, in this case 108. Now you see that Jeff Ward is 9.37 seconds behind. The green column is the speed his last lap. The black column his fastest lap of the day. Over in the green column, the number of pit stops and the laps since his most recent pit stop. Now, down to Jackaroo.
Well, Bob, we heard Buddy Lazier describe to his crew, led by Ronnie Dawes, what the problem was with the car. Now, how will the Hemmelgarn crew solve the problem during the pit stop? They are going to change the air pressure on their Firestone Firehawks. And Vince Welch, 1 pound of pressure is like changing your spring rate by 70 pounds.
Well, Jack, another team that's struggling with the race car a little bit is Jeff Ward. He's currently running 2nd. He's got a push, and now we've got a yellow out, so that's going to be a good opportunity for Ward to come in and maybe get that push taken care of. They had about another 15 laps on their run before they were scheduled to come in for the stop.
It is debris on the racetrack that has brought out the caution. Shigei Hattori was very slow down the front stretch a few laps ago. We thought maybe it was because of that, but it is debris on the racetrack.
Well, this was a huge break for Sarah Fisher and Eliseo Salazar. They were getting close to being lapped, so now then they'll be able to get back up there.
Well, the Indy Racing League schedule next takes us to Atlanta, Georgia on Saturday night, April 28th. Then the month of May in Indianapolis, culminating with the 85th running of the 500 on May 27th. We'll visit Fort Worth, Texas, June 9th in that great race that we saw there last year. Pikes Peak International Raceway in Fountain, Colorado on June 17th, and Richmond for the first time on June 30th. Then we go to the brand new racetrack at Kansas City. The new one at Nashville will return to Sparta, Kentucky. Then we go to St. Louis for the first IRL appearance there. Joliet, Illinois is also a brand new racetrack. We'll wrap up the season with a return visit to Texas Motor Speedway near Fort Worth. So those are the races that you have to look forward to until September 16th in the 2001 Indy Racing League schedule. Well, we're waiting for the pits to be open. They are still closed as the pace car picks up the leader of the race. There's the flags blowing, and you can see that the wind is still quite strong, but not nearly as much as it was on Friday and Saturday.
It was much stronger Friday and Saturday, but it was not as hot. The heat here today, the track temperature is probably 15 or 16 degrees hotter than it's been all weekend, so one kind of offsets the other. The racetrack is going to be slicker, but the wind won't be quite as much problem.
This Homestead Miami Speedway opened in 1995, shortly after Hurricane Andrew devastated this region. It's owned by International Speedway Corporation. It's on 434 acres, and besides the racing facility, there are 680 palm trees here. There is our wind meter indicating how strong the wind is.
Bob, I didn't know you were a horticulturist.
Well, among other things, yes.
Did you do any bird watching?
Not unless I have to. There's Kevin Blanch once again, the crew chief on the Pennzoil Panther Racing team. As you can see, Sam has entered the warm-up lane. He and most everyone else on the lead lap will be coming in for more pit service.
Well, that crew has been almost as perfect as Sam Hornish has been today. If they continue on this pace, these guys, everybody else in big trouble.
Guys, I'm just amazed at the way they got Sam's car set up today. I mean, it almost seems like he can pick any line going into any corner and not have any problem. It's really, really impressive.
We can see Jeff Ward hitting his pit box. Here is Sam Hornish.
That's Jeff Ward right there.
And the Pennzoil Panther team changing tires on the front of the car.
And Bob, they are going to make no changes. How about the pit sign work done by Detroit Lions quarterback and part owner, Jim Harbaugh.
Once again, a great pit stop. Sam Hornish will retain his lead. Back in a moment.
The Saturday premiere with Siemens mobile phones.
Here we are. Welcome to Hill House, everyone.
This is so twisted.
What happens
There was something in there. I can feel it. It's all around us.
when the dead
It's in my room.
awake?
No!
Liam Neeson and Catherine Zeta-Jones in The Haunting. Saturday at 8 on Sky Premiere.
This is the Vauxhall Zafira. Thanks to Flex 7 technology, it has 39 different seat combinations. Number 1, 7 seats. Combination number 2, 23, 38. No, I've done that one. There's one more in here somewhere. Come on, where are you?
Vauxhall, raising the standard.
Now you can try AOL for absolutely nothing. Just call 0800 376 4444 for your completely free trial pack.
Squares?
New Walker's Squares. They're walkers in disguise.
I've always enjoyed football, but I can't play anymore. Last year I was on a ladder at work when it collapsed. I hit the floor really hard, severely injuring myself. Life's difficult when an injury means you can't work. I called Claims Direct and discovered I was entitled to compensation. They worked really hard fighting my case and I was awarded £10,000.
Carl is glad he chose Claims Direct. Right now we're helping over 60,000 people get justice. And remember, if your claim is not successful, it won't cost you a penny. If you've been injured in an accident that wasn't your fault, at work, on the road, or a trip or fall anywhere, then contact Claims Direct today. For free advice 7 days a week, call 0800 970 0001 and speak to one of our Claims Direct specialists. That's 0800 970 0001. Call now.
That rhythm the thumping of the seesaw or the beating of your heart?
Korea, 5,000 years new.
With 7 seats and air conditioning as standard, the Vauxhall Zafira Club 1.6 is available from just £12,995.
And we're on board with Eddie Cheever Jr., and he doesn't appear to be up to full song.
No, he's got some sort of a problem. You heard him shift gears right there. So whatever's going on, he's having all kinds of problems. Once you start shifting gears, although this engine doesn't have as wide a power band as the Oldsmobiles, so he may do that quite a little more often than some of the other guys.
You know, guys, the way that Little Al's moved up through the field today, that's nothing new for him. In Las Vegas last year, he started 21st and ended up winning that race. So he's proved he can do it before.
Started 19th today, and he's running second, and he is cutting into the advantage that Hornish has over him.
Bob, we can also start setting up these final pit stops in the sequences that may take place in the strategy that may unfold. Little Al is looking to come in at about 168 laps. You can look now and see that's about 16 laps from now. All the teams will be able to go to the finish from that point on, but who can get their team in and out the quickest? That's going to be a key, and of course, the Panther Racing team with such a large advantage gives them some extra time to play with in the pits.
And Vince, what they're planning on doing for Sam Hornish is try to stretch it to lap 169. They could throw the dummy on 168 though, but when you look at the fastest laps that have been run, it reads like a book. Hornish, 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 Hornish. Oh yeah, there's a Salazar and there's a Lazier in there too.
Now 6 of the fastest 10 laps have been turned by Sam Hornish, and the fastest came on lap number 9 of the race, 194.3.
And Bob, I have a question for you. If Sam Hornish is doing so well and this team is performing so well, you've alluded to the Indianapolis 500. We better not forget that they are going to be providing some of their expertise to Michael Andretti in his return to the Indy 500. That is going to be one whale of a battle.
That is exactly right, and I think that's one reason why Michael Andretti, we heard him say in his little soundbite there earlier in our telecast, that they have a real good shot of winning this race. Pennzoil Panther team has been just unbelievable. Remember, they won the last race of 2000 with Scott Goodyear behind the wheel. Goodyear semi-retired. He will be at Indianapolis driving for Eddie Cheever, but they've now won 2 in a row and going for 3 as Greg Ray moves back out onto the racetrack.
And they actually almost won the Indianapolis 500 a couple of years ago, except Scott passed the pace car by accident on the last lap.
So we'll take another break here and await the pit stops that could definitely decide the outcome of this race. On the track, it's been all Sam Hornish so far.
Sam Hornish still well out front. He might have qualified in 5th place, but certainly doing all the work here. Al Unser Jr. though qualified in 19th place, as Russell Bolgin here in the studio has already pointed out. Right on the pace in 2nd place at the moment. But the thing for me, and again without heaping too much praise on Sam Hornish and his team, I mean 6 out of the top 10 fastest laps of the race, 194.3 mile an hour. Russell, this team is riding the crest of a wave at the moment.
They are, and the interesting thing is it's difficult to discern where they're getting the speed from. Obviously the engine is very strong, but I suspect that what they've also done is got the level of downforce right for the wind conditions, because I think some of the guys are underperforming today, perhaps thought there was going to be more wind than there was, and so actually put more downforce on the car to make it stick and not move about. But as we've seen earlier on, there isn't that much wind, so I think they've got their aerodynamics set up just about right as well.
Christopher, couple of things. That back-to-back winning that I was stitching you up with earlier on, Greg Ray in 99, I looked it up just a minute ago.
Okay, good, fine.
Hornish, is he going to take this race cleanly and easily? It looks to me like he's not having to work at all at the moment. His hands are steady on the steering wheel. The car doesn't look like he's pushing up the hill at all.
That's right. I mean, he really looks very steady, and the engine looks nice and strong as well. Interesting that Greg Ray, as predicted earlier on in this studio, well done Russell, appears to be having a bit of an engine problem. Interesting also that the only other Infiniti engines already out, Cheever's clearly got a problem with his engine at the moment. And you know, the clip we saw earlier on when we were on a previous yellow about the announcement of Toyota coming into the IRL is very significant.
We said that right at the front of the show.
We look forward to seeing 3 strong engines, 3 strong factory engines with Nissan. Now Toyota are going to come in, are going to make a much bigger effort with that Infiniti engine, and you can bet they'll be offering teams stronger engines to go the pace. So I think what we're seeing here today is really actually quite an important moment. Just 2 Infiniti engines, both of them not performing very well, but with this great promise of a turnaround to come, and I think that's going to be good for everybody. The Oldsmobile Aurora engine's going to get a big push as well. Long way to go.
Moving back to 3rd place, Russell, we haven't mentioned him for a while, the ex-motocrosser Kawasaki consultant and the like, Jeff Ward. He's still right there in third place, 16 seconds down though on my last count to Unser. Is he over and done with? Is that it for him? Well, I did mention he was as an interested spectator earlier.
I think it possibly is. I think he's done as well as he can. I have a suspicion that he shot his bolt a little bit and he just can't match the cars ahead of him on pace.
What kind of psychological effect is this going to have on the rest of the field if Hornish and his team run away with this second one in the series?
Too early in the series. We've got a 13 race series here, which is really great this year. It's the longest IRL series, and we've got something.
No, that's a race summary actually.
Oh dear, oh dear,
that caught my failure here in the studio.
Caught my attention there for a moment. No, I think really within a 13 race series he's running very strongly at the moment, but it doesn't mean that this is the championship done. There's a long way to go.
36 is Lazier and Hornish on lap 36. This is lap 63. And again, Hornish just looking so fast in the turns here. It's quite a flat track, and really you've got to say Hornish's manoeuvres have just been superb throughout. Al Unser Jr. coming back after a stop-go penalty. I've got to say I'm very impressed with the way he managed to do that. And here is Al Unser Jr. stopped in pit lane then. This is going to be a quick one. Well, this could be the last pit that he makes here, couldn't it? Fuel and tyres as well. And we cross to our commentators. This is live, I remind you.
Just an unbelievable bad break for Al Unser Jr. You can imagine what's going through his mind after a terrific move to the front.
He was actually gaining on Sam Hornish. He'd cut the lead down to about 9 seconds. Now then the thing is, it's vapor lock probably, and it just wouldn't start. You can see them. They're devastated.
43-second pit stop. Wow.
Well, that's a couple of laps, and that's just going to kill him.
And we have a caution. Greg Ray apparently has come in contact with the wall.
Man, things went from bad to worse.
Yeah, this changes a lot of things. All the leaders now will be able to pit under yellow, and that was a costly stop for Al Jr. that just got a lot more costly.
Well, Jeff Ward had to go into pits, and he lost a couple laps, so now then this erases his chances because everybody else is going to be able to stop on the yellow.
But for Sam Hornish, Eliseo Salazar, Buddy Lazier, and Sarah Fisher, it's a terrific break because they have not made their pit stops. We'll be right back.
They said they'd do anything for a huge cash prize. Are you quitting? 16 ordinary civilians come face to face with 4 real-life drill instructors.
Kiss your wife right now, kiss her. Bye, hon! Hi, I'm his new pal!
28 days in hell.
A balloon sculptor? Yes, sir! Get out of my face! Ah!
Survive this.
Shut up! Nobody said smile.
The new series, Boot Camp, starts Tuesday the 17th on Sky 1.
This is the Vauxhall Zafira. Thanks to Flex 7 technology, it has 39 different seat combinations. Number 1, 7 seats. Combination number 2, 23, 38. No, I've done that one. There's one more in here somewhere. Kimber, where are you?
Vauxhall, raising the standard.
We British are a nation of political animals. There's nothing we like more than a hard, probing debate by the photocopier, a prolonged, heated discussion in the boardroom, or a swift yet thorough analysis in the stationery cupboard. If you wish to preserve our proud heritage, join the Office Party. Our members pledge to put all of their efforts into rapid, vigorous growth and promise to make sleaze and scandal their top priorities. Use your head. Join the Office Party. Brand new Spin City on the Paramount Comedy Channel.
Census will give a picture of Britain that helps plan all our futures. Complete the form and complete the picture.
Twix.
Wouldn't it be great if someone else paid for the fun things in life?
Hello? Hello? Are you four together?
Yes. What are you?
I'll just pay for these four together if I may. It's all right.
Right.
These are on me.
Are you sure?
You know? Yeah. I'm Mr. Miles. I'm paying for everybody's tickets today. I'm not coming in because I can't stand the heights. I'm arachnophobic. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. However, there is a payback to this. I want us to have a sing-song before we go in. If you're happy and you know it, raise a leg.
Air miles do just that. They're easy to earn and you can only spend them on stuff that's fun.
Ahoy, Mr. Beaver!
What does it take to have such strong teeth?
Colgate Herbal Toothpaste, naturally.
Colgate Herbal?
It contains chamomile, eucalyptus, myrrh and sage, as well as fluoride that helps make teeth healthy.
And strong.
Colgate Herbal, for strong, healthy teeth.
With 7 seats and air conditioning as standard, the Vauxhall Zafira Club 1.6 is available from just £12,995.
We're under a yellow because Greg Ray was in the wall, and then this particular drama. We saw Al Unser with his hands in the air when he stalled his car in pit lane, but Sam Hornish, your race leader by a mile, in the bottom left-hand part of your screen, is in all sorts of trouble, as you'll be able to see. Salazar is on top. He's about to start his pit now. This should be the last fuel stop that we see, and there you see it. Sam Hornish stalls his car, and that's all sorts of trouble for him. In fact, it looks like he's got something caught under the back of the car. Fortunately, he didn't drag it down into pit lane, but he has a massive pit stop there, and you can see the rest of the cars managing to get out in front of Sam Hornish. So Hornish has a lot of work to do when he comes back out. All that good race, Hornish is destroyed, not to mention his pit crew. Sam Hornish then makes his way out onto the track. This is the Miami Homestead track. This is the second round of the IRL Racing League Series, and Sam Hornish has been dominant throughout today's racing until that pit stop under the yellow due to Greg Ray being in the wall. He's had a real bad day. Well, we can cross now back to our commentary team at trackside in just a moment.
You're sitting down.
So, Miami Homestead waits for the restart, and we wait to see where Sam Hornish has lined up as he's come back out of pit lane. Unser Jr. stalled his car in pit lane. He looked absolutely distraught, but that's only a fraction of what Sam Hornish is going through right now, and I really don't know what this 21-year-old is going to be capable of in the last few laps of this Miami Homestead race. They're about to come under green very soon, and there is going to be drama throughout the closing stages of this race. Hornish will be on some kind of a mission. That is Sarah Fisher, second on your screen there. Sarah Fisher has driven an absolutely brilliant race throughout. Last time I looked, she was lying a very, very credible 6th place. And the wind, well, it's been like this all day long here at Homestead. And it's been a bit of a worry, if only for us in commentary positions, but certainly Sam Hornish, I can't wait to see where he has rejoined this race and just what kind of work he's got to do to try and retake the lead. I'm sure he would have lost it. He's showing 4th on our computer here at the moment, but whether that's been completely updated. Salazar is leading. Eliseo Salazar, a Chilean, I think the Americans pronounce his nationality, which amused us all here in the studio. So the Chilean, now of Miami, is leading this race with Sarah Fisher in 2nd place. Let's cross in live to our commentary team. I don't know what they're going to make of this there.
Story here. Sam Hornish Jr. trouble in the pits, and he has dropped back now to the 4th position. Felipe Giafoni has made up a lap because of that caution and is now in 5th position, the final car on the lead lap. There you see that Salazar moved up a position, Fisher up 2, Lazier stayed the same, Hornish lost 3, and Giafoni stays in 5th, but again he is back on the lead lap. So what we have here is the hometown favorite, Eliseo Salazar, because he makes his American home here in Miami. But we have Sarah Fisher running right behind him, and I'm telling you, this crowd is equally divided maybe among the two, and maybe we see a few more people hoping that this young girl, Sarah Fisher, will be the winner of this thing, or maybe they're thinking that Hornish can do what he's done all along this afternoon and drive through the traffic and take the lead. We'll know that in about 28 laps.
I hate to bring this up again, guys, but Eliseo Salazar is the oldest driver in the series, and Sarah Fisher is the youngest driver in the series.
Why are you always talking about age?
I'm obsessed at this point in time, Bob.
Eliseo Salazar has led 7 races in his IRL career, and 6 of them have been on 1.5-mile ovals.
Well, Sarah Fisher's lost a little bit of ground to him. Meanwhile, Sam Hornish, he started 8th in the field. Although he's 4th on, in the running, he's now moved past all those lap cars, and he's 4th on the racetrack.
And moving in quickly. There are the speeds. Fastest car is Salazar, then Fisher, then Lazier.
You know, there's really not much separating Salazar and Fisher at this point in time. This is shaping up to be a good finish, guys.
Eliseo looking for his second win of the series. Is only
Great job, you're pulling away from money.
At Las Vegas in October of '97. And when we see these two running together, we can remember Las Vegas last year. They both crashed while battling for position. I'm talking about Sarah Fisher and Eliseo Salazar. Meanwhile, we go back to 3rd and 4th, and Hornish is closing in on Buddy Lazier, and in fact, he may be in a position to take the spot at the end of the backstretch.
Outside. Wow, he is the fastest car on the racetrack by almost 2 miles an hour. Oh! Buddy Lazier spins. Oh! Contact with the wall.
So the caution will come out on lap 177 now, as Buddy Lazier's Tybo car has made contact with the 4th turn wall.
He's moving his head around in the cockpit, though. That's generally a good sign.
Down there in the middle, and they couldn't get it back around.
And he's talking to the crew.
And Bob, he radioed in and said that he was okay.
Yeah.
Right.
But it brings to an end a great afternoon for Buddy. This is our 6th caution of the afternoon. There is A.J. Foyt, Eliseo Salazar's car owner, talking to him on the radio. Now, here is Hornish making the pass, and then behind, Lazier just loses it.
You can see that thing just gave a little bit of a wiggle. He almost saved it, but then the back end just came around very slowly and backed right up into the concrete.
From another angle,
he went into the corner high, tried to run that high line, but right here, see that little wiggle right there? That's the one that got him. He saved it the first time, but when the second time came around, he just couldn't get the car back under control.
And Larry, you could hear the disgust in his voice as he apologized to the crew. He said, "I thought I had it saved, and then it got away from me."
Well, he didn't want to give that position up. He wanted to race hard, not give that position up, but in retrospect, I think he would have just dropped in behind him and given it up.
We'll take a look from the onboard camera when we come back with more of the Infiniti Grand Prix of Miami.
Well, there's no doubt about it. This Miami Homestead racetrack is showing us some brilliant racing here, but bad luck there. Buddy Lazier have been fighting all the way through this race. You've got to say that the man is working harder than anybody else on the racetrack. He's adjusted his car every which way in the scale, and eventually there, it looked to me like Hornish took his air a little bit when Hornish got underneath him for that 3rd place, and nothing he could do about it. Just a little wiggle and up on the high side.
And he nearly caught it, which at 180 miles an hour is pretty impressive. And of course the great worry with Buddy Lazier is this is the man who came back to racing having broken his back to win Indy, so any kind of rearward impact, they have to be very careful getting him out of the car in case he's done himself further damage.
And
I hope he's okay.
That was quite a hard one into the wall there as well. It it shook its head when it went straight in. Let's take another look at it. You can see just that little wiggle there, and then as it reversed it, he managed to hold it for so long.
And he's hard on the brakes right now, but it's not rubbing off too much speed.
It's gone in quite hard, but I don't think that's going to be a major worry, apart from the fact that, as you've already pointed out, his back injury from the past.
But that's an absolutely classic oval accident, that, Keith. You know, the air disturbance that does that, the attempt by an experienced driver to catch it, then he keeps the brakes on hard and in backwards. That is a typical oval accident, and the good news is that he's okay, because he's been talking to his crew on the radio.
Well, it's our 6th caution of the Homestead round 2 in the IRL series, as we watch for another time. And I have to say that the camera work here at Homestead has been absolutely superb. They've had every angle covered several times over. So we're under our 6th caution, and as we watch the teams wandering around, sorting themselves out. Now they'll pit again now, but we've got to sprint to the end, haven't we? Barring another yellow.
We've got to sprint to the end. Isn't it funny to see what happens with Eliseo? I mean, kick up the pants earlier on. We heard over the radio from AJ. His team boss, and there he is leading the race. Sarah Fisher running in second place,
which would have been an all-time best.
Which reminds me, Keith, at the beginning I think I said there were 2 or 3 people I thought for a top 3 position. I think 2 of them were Salazar and Fisher, but it doesn't matter. Anything can happen in the last few laps.
We've got the smug monitor on him here, haven't we, Russell? And at the moment, Christopher, you're off the scale.
He's quite scary at the moment.
Yeah, you wait and see. But I think we've got a really interesting sprint for the finish. I just hope, as Russell was saying, it doesn't take too long to get Lazier out of the car.
Well, let's take a look back at what caused some of the problems earlier on. This is Greg Ray. This is our 5th caution of the day. And Greg Ray just found himself up high on the marbles and nowhere to go except there. 2 wheels on my wagon.
The interesting thing is that it doesn't look there on that screen, on that shot, as though there were a great deal of marbles, but just off the racing line by that stage of the race, it's almost impossible to find any grip, and bang, he was gone. We could just see it happen and wiped off the wheel, and that was it.
Okay, moving back then to Mr. Hornish, who had a diabolical pit. We haven't been able to talk about that. You know, really, we don't know why he got caught up. These are live pictures. They're still under yellow. We'll get you back racing with the commentary team in just a moment or two. But Hornish, he's got nothing else to do except go for the win now, has he? He's absolutely scratching away there. He really does want it badly.
He wants it badly. Actually, he has got 2 options, and the second option is make sure he comes out of this race at the top of the championship points table.
Well, we saw a brief picture there of 97 Salazar. That was Eliseo Salazar. And we're told that the green flag is ready. We just heard that creeping across our commentary here.
I think Sarah Fisher could be strong on the restart.
Well, I mean, Sarah Fisher, she's in second place at the moment in the blue car. Here we go then. We're going to the line then for a green flag. Let's cross to our commentators right now.
Real racing here on ABC. Let's see who wins this one. Look at Hornish. He's going to get a good start as they come down and take the green flag. He's already getting by Sarah Fisher and now sets his sights on Salazar.
Well, Sarah saw him to the outside and didn't go up to the wall, gave him room. If she hadn't been alert, hadn't been paying attention, that could have been a crash.
Everybody gathered here this afternoon down below us in the grandstand is on their feet cheering for whomever their favorite is. But they're all cheering.
Well, Salazar certainly has the advantage. Anybody that leads has a huge advantage over this car in second place. Right there, you saw Hornish. He got wide.
Hey, here he goes.
Oh, here we go.
Got a good run off the corner. Is he going to be able to? No.
You have to know whether that guy's going to close the door. He did a smart thing right there. Had to use the brake.
You know, guys, I have to say, this has been great racing here today. A lot of wheel-to-wheel action, a lot of guys passing, and really close racing, and not a lot of incidents. It's really been great racing.
Jason, the thing that may put this all in perspective is the words that Kevin Blanche said to me just moments ago. He said, now we'll find out what Sam Hornish is made of.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. He's not made out of anything that's light and fluffy. He's going after these guys.
He has led the most laps this afternoon, 126 so far. Hits the rev lever there at the end of the straightaway.
You know, I think he got out of the throttle so he would fall back and then get a run on him off the corner. Okay. I think that was why you heard that. He was actually out of the throttle trying to get a run. Now that he's on the outside.
Here he goes. Is he going to be able to pass Salazar? He's on the outside of the racetrack. Oh, wheel to wheel through the corner all the way through.
Still inside.
At the line, it is Hornish by a half a car length, and he is going to still not be able to pass.
Inside. Clear.
Now he's got it.
Wow, that was phenomenal.
Good job, Sam. Way to time it. Way to go. Your race now. Your race. 15 to go.
You're right, Larry. I think he timed it and got that run, and man, did he have a run build up.
He got out of the throttle before he got to the end of the straightaway and got a huge run on him, and he had to stay on the outside for a whole corner, which is almost unheard of at this racetrack, but he made it work. Indy Racing League drivers, look out, you got a new guy on the block.
That is for sure.
Big celebration down in the Pennzoil Panther pit box as well, guys. They know it's not over, but they know they've got something special behind the wheel, and he's just done an amazing job to get by a very stingy Eliseo Salazar.
Open wheel racing may need a new young hero, and I think we have found one in Sam Hornish Jr., given his 2 race performances this year in the IRL. Just unbelievable.
I think it's safe to say that he definitely has arrived.
They're second and third, Salazar on the left and Sarah Fisher on the right. And we can't say enough good things about Sarah Fisher also, as he has hung in there all afternoon, running in third position. She started this race back in the 7th position.
And her crew has kept her in the hunt. They've made good pit stops. They've encouraged her. They've given her good feedback on everything that she's done, and she's followed their directions very well.
And Larry, they've also had an excellent race car all day long. They have not touched that car from a chassis perspective. They've let her do all the adjustments on the weights bar, so it's been a good car for Sarah from the very beginning.
Sarah's got a good run down the backstretch. She's going to take second from Eliseo. Wow.
And A.J. Foyt is livid, fellas. He just yelled at Eliseo Salazar and said, "You got passed by a girl."
And I now know who most of the people down in front of us were rooting for, because when Sarah made that pass, there was a huge response from the fans. They're loving Sarah Fisher's performance.
Well, she did exactly the same thing that Hornish did. She got out of the throttle early, got a huge run, and I think Salazar got a little push coming off, had to get out of the throttle, and she was right there at the right place at the right time.
Sarah is a part-time student. Butler University in Indianapolis, studying mechanical engineering. She loves to play soccer, but she likes most of all to drive race cars, and she can do it. 1.13 seconds is the interval between Hornish and Fisher. Last lap, we'll see if she's being able to close in on him. She was certainly faster in terms of speed last lap than Sam.
Well, he was in a little traffic, but she was 5 miles an hour quicker. If she actually can do that again, she's running faster than him and opened racetrack that time by almost a half a mile an hour.
It's amazing the way she just dispatched of Salazar, too. I mean, he's not even in her mirrors anymore.
Well, she's catching traffic at a bad spot right here, but Calkins got out of the way. So that was nice of him, because she's still got a shot at winning this race.
Good job by Buzz Calkins, who's back in 16th position, 6 laps down. And she again is faster.
Guys, I hate to keep bringing this up, but the 2 youngest drivers in the IRL just dispatched with the oldest driver.
Yeah, well.
And guys, Sarah Fisher's increasing speed is not lost on the Pennzoil Panther team, a group that was all smiles just a few moments ago. Those faces are a lot more serious now as they watch Fisher continually gain on their driver, Sam Hornish Jr.
And Sarah's crew's telling her, he's scared, go after him, he's scared.
There are less than 7 laps to go, so she's going to have to get the job done in a hurry if she is going to. The advantage is just a tick of the watch over 1 second. And Sarah reduces the interval every lap, but not by very much.
Well, it's going to be a big factor. The traffic is going to be a big factor. Whoever catches the traffic just wrong is really going to lose a lot of ground. And it looks like he's going to catch Giafone right here where he doesn't want to, right in the middle of the corner.
Watch how he goes through that traffic. They'll be nice and smooth.
She can catch him on the straightaway. She will again make up some interval. And your guy Giafone hasn't done bad this afternoon. He's 4th.
Yeah, he's done quite well. You know, he's a rookie this year, and you know, anytime you're a rookie in a new series, there's a lot to learn.
5 to go.
You're on a pretty steep.
Keep going.
You're on a pretty steep learning curve, but I think he's going to shape up to be a good driver.
And Jason, one of the all-time greats, is helping Giafone. Ari Lyondike is coaching him, and Ari raves about this young kid, and I think we're going to see a lot more from Giafone the rest of this season.
And of course, Ari will be back at the Indianapolis 500. He's coming out of retirement to once again compete in the greatest spectacle in racing.
It looks like Sarah lost a little bit of ground that time in the traffic, about a half a second. That's just what she didn't need at this point.
And there are only 4 laps to go, now about 3.5 laps to go. Giafone is 4th, Ward is 5th, Allenzer Jr. 6th, then Dismore, Cheever, Sharp, and Didier Andre may get a top 10 finish here this afternoon. His teammate Casey Mears is 11th, then Hattori, McGee, Boat, Schrader, Calkins, Irwin, and Hollinsworth. Those are the cars that are still on the racetrack. And the interval opens up to 1.5 seconds. So indeed, Fisher, who was closing the gap, is not doing so right now and leaving the victory to Sam Hornish Jr. Once again, the Toyota Grand Prix of Long Beach coming up. We will not be able to do a winner interview, but we'll be able to hear on the radio his thoughts about winning his second consecutive race, if indeed he can hold on for the next lap and a half.
Well, Sarah Fisher's got to be extremely happy, even though it doesn't look like she's going to be able to give him much of a challenge here in this last lap. But she's done a great job. The crew has kept her right in the hunt all day long.
Less than a lap to go now.
She's hung up, Sam. She's hung up. You're going to be all right. You got about a 2-second lead now.
Sam Hornish Jr.
Bring it on home. You got plenty of time.
Is going to do it. Sam Hornish wins again, his second race victory in 2001.
That was awesome. Pit road to the start-finish line and turn left into victory lane. You'll see guys standing there directing you.
He's the first back-to-back winner since Greg Ray at Dover and Pikes Peak in 1999.
Sam Hornish then rides down victory lane for the second time this year, and there's only been 2 rounds. That, I have to say, Sam is the man. Russell, words fail me. I knew he was going to go for it. It is the first time, yeah, I'll take that insult. Incredible.
Absolutely. And I want to disagree with something that Christopher said earlier about the
I'm glad of that.
The psychological effect of Hornish winning 2 races, because modern championships tend to be won, if you look at it, by people who get a big lead in points early in the year and then capitalise on it. The years of when you could get your car set up and not do terribly well for the first few races are definitely over. So I think he's got a huge advantage at the moment.
Well, we're looking here at Hornish going back for the lead past Eliseo Salazar, and the Chilean absolutely fought for what was half a lap on the inside of the track, but Hornish just would not be thwarted. He was around the outside, up in the marbles, and really I thought coming down into this turn that Salazar would have done it for him, but no, nothing of it. Look at that, took it straight over the top of him. Unbelievable driving, very brave too, Chris.
Really very brave indeed, and for a guy, must remember, I mean, so 9 races last year and these 2, this is his 11th ever IRL start, and Eliseo's been in IndyCar type racing for a decade and a Grand Prix driver before that and so on. That was brave stuff. I mean, really very brave stuff, and you've got to be impressed, and here he is. He deserved it.
Sam Hornish, congratulations. First at Phoenix you excited us, but you really made this one wild.
Yeah, had a little problem in the pits. I had a little bit of a rookie mistake, but I'm not a rookie, so that's not very acceptable. But these guys do a great job. They put me in an awesome car. It made it easy.
When the car stalled, you went back out on the racetrack. How long did it take for you to get your composure back?
I was more mad at myself than anything else. It took about 2 seconds, and I knew that I had to get back into it. I knew we had a good enough car that we could go back out there and win the race.
The last guy to win back-to-back races was Greg Ray on the way to his championship in the Indy Racing League. Do you think about that?
That's where we're trying to head to, so I guess we're doing the right things. I can't say much more than for these Pennzoil Panther guys. They make it feel easy.
You said when you first got this chance with this race team, you were a little uptight when you tested with them, and you went to sleep in the race car. Have you been to sleep in the race car since then?
I try to every weekend. It's good luck.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Sarah Fisher, second place today. What a terrific performance. You just said they hugged you harder than the race car treated you today.
Yeah, I jumped out and all my guys, each one of them took a turn, even Billy from Comtech. Comtech did a great job today, but I tell you what, this team has done a wonderful job since Kroger signed on and Meads continued, and today is Derek Walker's birthday, so happy birthday, Derek Walker.
The team owner certainly very happy today. Did you ever feel like you had something for Sam down the stretch?
A little bit, yeah, but you know, Sam's been running strong all year long. He's been running strong all race long, and you know, the car just got on rails at the end of the race. And Mike and I, he's my new engineer, we did a really good job together this weekend, and it really showed today.
What's it prove today about Sarah Fisher?
Oh, we're ready, we're coming.
Sarah Fisher, second place.
Okay, very quickly then, a thought for Sarah Fisher, second place, a career best.
She's now proved that she's the real deal. She's got aggression as well as racecraft.
I'm absolutely delighted. Second for Sarah Fisher. I mean, a great result all round, and Eliseo third. I think it was an unbelievable race, Keith.
Unbelievable from all points of view, but IRL the winner all round here.
Very definitely. The series really now looks strong. We're going to be at Indianapolis in what, month and a half now. Another race to go. It's going to be a really exciting run up to the 500.
Indeed. Well, a cracking race then. I trust you enjoyed all the action, and congratulations of course to Sam Hornish, just 21 years old. We're back racing again on Sky Sports next weekend. This time it's round 3 of the American Le Mans Series, which is also the inaugural race of the European Le Mans Series. It's coming from Donington Park, and if you can't make it to the track, then we're going to bring you the race flag to flag. That'll start on Sky Sports 3 at 11:30 a.m. on Easter Saturday, and there's also a chance to see the previous round of the series with highlights of the Sebring 12 hours in our weekly World Motorsports programme. You can catch that on Sky Sports 1. That's tomorrow at 2:30 p.m. So to set the scene, here's a quick look at some of the best action from Sebring. The cars to beat are of course the Audi R8s, and 3 examples will be racing at Donington Park. The 2 factory cars could be challenged by the Golf example of Britain's Guy Smith and Stefan Johansson. The race will also see the debut of Chrysler's brand new prototype. There's a full field, and Britain's Oliver Gavin is expected to start in the GTS category with the Celine S7. Definitely a race series to look forward to. Plenty of top action here on Sky Sports to come. My thanks to our studio guests Christopher Tate and Russell Bolgin. And we'll leave you with some images from the Infiniti Grand Prix of Miami. See you next weekend.
Lucky for some. It's Destination Europe for the hopefuls of the Premiership. You'll see which teams make it. Move it to the Millennium Stadium on Saturday the 12th for the FA Cup final. And don't forget the return trip for the blood, sweat and tears of the 3 playoff finals. Scotland's Big Cup Day beckons at the end of the month, and England's Super Troopers take on Mexico. Sky Sports in May. Fine times ahead.
Census will give a picture of Britain that helps plan all our futures. Complete the form and complete the picture.
Buy the Daily Mail and you could save 20% at Debenhams, Britain's favourite department store. Yes, 20% off. Save hundreds of pounds. Start in tomorrow's Daily Mail.
Hello. Good girl.
You're 5 weeks old. Your digestive system can only handle liquids.
Come on then.
Which has its advantages. As for the disadvantages, there's Pampers New Baby, the first and only Pampers specially designed to handle pee, but also soft poo better than ever before, because newborns deserve extra care. Pampers New Baby absorbs what others don't.
I've always enjoyed football, but I can't play anymore.
Last year I was on a ladder at work when it collapsed. I hit the floor really hard, severely injuring myself. Life's difficult when an injury means you can't work. I called Claims Direct and discovered I was entitled to compensation. They worked really hard fighting my case and I was awarded £10,000.
Carl is glad he chose Claims Direct. Right now we're helping over 60,000 people get justice. And remember, if your claim is not successful, it won't cost you a penny. If you've been injured in an accident that wasn't your fault, at work, on the road, or a trip or fall anywhere, then contact Claims Direct today. For free advice 7 days a week, call 0800 970 0001 and speak to one of our Claims Direct specialists. That's 0800 970 0001. Call now.
Harrison Ford.
Something is happening in our house.
Michelle Pfeiffer. There are no ghosts. What lies beneath? Rented from Easter weekend.
Easter is coming and we believe that the glass is half full, not half empty.
We believe that eggs and bunnies are for sharing, not for show. So we'll always choose bigness over smallness, lots over less, and Cadbury chocolate over anything.
Do you love Cadbury? It's a simple yes or no.
Yeah! Choose Cadbury.
Coming up tomorrow night, Middlesbrough against Sunderland, and on Wednesday, Blackburn take on Fulham. Live interactive football only on Sky Digital.
Manchester United are the pick of the Premiership once again. Champions for the 5th time in 7 seasons.
Celebrating 10 years. This is Sky Sports.
Gascoigne strikes. Oh! Adams, the captain.
The third close encounter of Tottenham and Arsenal in an FA Cup semi-final in 10 years. It's one apiece so far. We're at Old Trafford in a moment. A Red Marauder won at Liverpool this weekend. We'll see if the Red Marauders from Liverpool could make the FA Cup final. Wickham stood in their way at Villa Park. Plus there's Premiership action from Goodison Park as Joe Royle goes back with Manchester City. All of Saturday's goals, and we pay tribute to Celtic's Championship winners. Ian Dowie is here to cast a critical eye over the weekend's proceedings. But first, to Old Trafford for an FA Cup semi-final that had all the ingredients of a classic. Two North London rivals, Arsenal and Tottenham. A manager taking charge of his club for the first time, Glenn Hoddle. The infamous one-in-a-year factor. Plus the fact that they met just 7 days ago, when Arsenal took the points at Highbury. Team news, just one change for Arsenal from the team that beat Spurs last week. Silvino came in for Ashley Cole. Tony Adams made his 50th FA Cup appearance, while the tournament's joint top scorer, Sylvain Wiltord, partnered Thierry Henry up front. Sol Campbell was fit for Tottenham, as were Stephen Carr, Tim Sherwood, Stephen Clements and Sergei Rebrov, all of whom missed last week's league defeat at Highbury. Commentators Andy Gray and Martin Tyler.